What's going on, all you gamers? Here we are back with some more Outriders, and today I'm going to be going over, do you need to wear the Acari set as a pyromancer for endgame? So you see a lot of people wearing it, do you need it, or can you spec off and do something else with one of the other legendary gear sets? Well, let's find out. Welcome back, all you guys and girls, as always, for all things Xbox, for all things gaming. Then why not hit that subscribe and bell icon? I'll bring you all the latest and greatest in gaming, hints, tips, guides, builds, and just some fun gameplay. And of course, a lot more Outriders on the way. But for today, I'm here to give my 2 cents on why I see a lot of people saying, can you not just chuck something else on? Everybody is using the Acari set, do something different. Honestly, you can. You can make whatever you want for endgame. You can do any build you want with a pyromancer, and you can have a lot of fun doing it. But I'm going to tell you why everybody ends up building into the Acari set. So if I show you the set right here, and don't worry about the gun, I'm just trying stuff again. But if we have a little look, the Acari set comes with this: anomaly power, skills life leech, and status power, and a lot of cooldown. So just over here we've got anomaly power, skills life leech, and cooldown. Again, skills life leech and cooldown. Now that is pretty much perfect. If that top one had come with cooldown, that would be pretty much exactly perfect, I believe, for myself. Some people might want status power for the extra oomph. I think cooldown pretty much supersedes that, to be fair, but it's all down to preference. But those 3 pieces right there all come with anomaly power. So it's exactly what you want. There's no health. You don't have to worry about that. The last 2 pieces have health. You don't need to equip those. So what about the other sets? If I click on here and go over to yonder, just here, as you can see, I've got anomaly power, which is great. Just over here I've got, I really wish I did gear set so I could just show you it all really easy, but unfortunately I can't. Anomaly power again, which is great. So the Reforged set has 2 anomaly powers, so it's going well. But then we're going to go to the headpiece, which you almost definitely have to have if you want this, and that has max health. Why? So that means you'd have to change that to a purple. So then we're going to go down to the gloves, which has max health. So you'd have to change that to a purple. And finally the boots. Lo and behold, max health. Now, does that mean that you cannot use the Reforged set? No, not in the slightest. Play the game how you enjoy it. But it means that the Reforged set will not have anywhere near as much oomph, it won't do as much damage, you will not be able to get as much anomaly in that set because you've got max health on at least 1 piece. Also, the reason people are using the Acari set is because of its free set bonus, which is just hands down probably the best free set bonus in the game, I would say, especially for anomaly. For anomaly, it is 100% the best in the game, and that is every enemy damaged by heatwave grants 50% anomaly power bonus for 10 seconds. So now obviously on the Reforged set there must have been a really good one. And there is. Increase feed the flames damage by 50% and thermal bombs explosion damage by 50%. Which is amazing. It really is. Except it doesn't do as much damage as the Acari set does if you chuck all of the mods onto that one, because you get so much more anomaly power. So what about the Lava Light set? Well, I can't show you the head, but I will cover that in a minute because that is one thing that I really want to go over. Now, one thing also I want to tell you, I am not knocking the game or the gear sets or anything such that. I am just telling you why so many people are pretty much just going the Acari route for endgame, and it is because 1, it's the easiest, 2, it's the strongest, and 3, it's the most viable by an absolute mile. But if we go over to that, so here we have the boots of the Lava Lich. They have max health, so you wouldn't want those. And then we've got the hands, and just here, max health. Just over here, anomaly power, which is really nice, and as you saw they all had status power and skills life leech as well. So I'm going to go on to that as well because that's really odd in my books. So next up we've got the top, and that's got anomaly, status and skills life leech. So next up we would have the helmet. I will double check because I have never ever found one, but as far as I'm aware I think that is max health as well, meaning that again that gear set just will not do as much damage, just from the fact that nobody needs max health on their gear. It doesn't help you in this game. It is not viable in the slightest. Damage reduction is so much better than a little bit of max health that is unbelievable. If it boosted you a little bit more with some mods and such, very likely it could be okay, but honestly max health in this game, no one really wants it. You want to negate damage in other ways, mitigate it through some kind of protection, but max health gives you so little health. I think it's about 1000 for each piece you put on, and you lose so much damage. It is ridiculous. So that's 3 gear sets done, and the Acari set, just hands down, is so much better than them, and it's such a shame because they are so good. So if we have a little look, because I didn't even cover it, increase damage of eruption by 40%, really nice, and decrease its cooldown by 10%. Now here's the thing that I'm going to show you. So it does a lot more damage, that's really nice, but again I believe you'll probably still do more damage using the Acari. There is one viable option that I'm going to tell you right near the end, that if you did want to use other legendary gear sets, I think you would need to use this mod. I still haven't got it, but I am going to explain why you will need it. But yeah, so increase damage of eruption by 40% and decrease its cooldown by 10%, which is great, except as we saw, on none of these pieces of armour do we have any cooldown.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So again, if you put your eruptions on the Acari set, they have a much better cooldown. I think you can get it to around about, probably normally you get it to about 19-20 seconds. If you chose the boots over the head, you'd probably get it to almost, I want to say almost 16, maybe 17. This right here is not viable. Why is the cooldown 10%? It should be much higher, maybe even 30%, or at least 25. It doesn't add up. But yeah, again, because of how much anomaly you're getting from the Acari set, you'll also do a lot more damage. So the last set, what have we got? The Torturous set. So this is the firepower build. Now I've changed that bottom one unfortunately, but we're just going to be going over the stats and stuff anyway, and I'm just going to tell you my view. So this one has bonus firepower, close range damage and status power. The only one that you need to worry about is its tier 3. Ash Blast. Your weapon damage and anomaly damage against enemies affected by the skill increase respectively 40% and 30% for 5 seconds. Meaning basically if you hit things with Ash Blast, you're going to be able to do just a ton more damage to them. You really can nuke bosses, you can absolutely massacre elites. It's a really nice move. But have a look at the stats on the thing. Bonus firepower, close range damage and status power. So it's going for that kind of close range and a lot of damage from your bullets, which will be your anomaly rounds, it'll be your inferno rounds. So next up we're going to go down to here. And if you have a little look, I'll do one that I haven't changed. Right, I've changed both of them. Right, so this one's got bonus firepower, healing received and close range damage. So pretty similar to the other one. And it comes with susceptibility. Not a bad little mod. It kind of means you'll tear through them quite a bit more. But again, bonus firepower, healing received and close range damage. If we go over to this one, and I think I may have changed this a little bit, so we'll see. There it is. Bonus firepower, close range damage and status power. Now, if I remember correctly, the top mod was not very good in the slightest. If I'm wrong, I will chuck it in the comments. But again, bonus firepower, close range damage and status power. So you have got the chance of getting all 3 in firepower, which is really nice. But there's no cooldown on it. Not in the slightest. So because there's no cooldown on it, it means that your Ash Blast is going to be on a really high timer. Even if you go pure top route, I think you've still got about 16, I want to say about 16, 17 seconds between being able to use your Ash Blast. So basically you've got a set that, as far as I can see, is trying to make it so you can run in, ash everything, kind of have a lot of error effects going on, because you would probably be using that tier 3 mod on the helmet, and when you do, it's absolutely amazing. It really is good. You feel really strong, you can do some crazy damage, you can absolutely destroy enemies. But it's on such a long timer that you want to take it off and chuck on purple gear, which is odd. It really is. Most cases, I think having that top mod there, probably one of the best mods in the game, but you can't really use it effectively. And let's look at the Torturer's 3-piece. Triples the size of volcanic rands, damaging aura, as soon as I can speak properly, that surrounds each bullet. I thought that might be really good, long distance, kind of capture everything. That is one of the weakest set bonuses in the game. It's not good in the slightest. There may be a crazy overheat build that I haven't been able to pull off yet that may well work. So say for example you capture every single thing and then you manage to turn them to ash with your overheat, and then you pop them with another button or something along those lines, or you do an extra bit of damage with your overheat. Again, I've not managed to make that because you don't have enough anomaly power to do crazy damage, because you're going the firepower route. So even hybrid, you kind of struggle in both aspects. So what you're probably going to do is go almost pure firepower, or definitely go pure firepower, but may well not put out as much damage as you would with a purple set. I may be wrong, I may absolutely be cracking up, but honestly, for me, I would say there is only one possibility to make these suits work, and that is at the moment, especially for the anomaly builds, you get one mod that I still have never had, like I said earlier, and that would be this mod right here that comes on the Lava Lich helmet. Now this is Ashen Champion. Phaser Beam inflicts ash on enemies instead of burn. Each enemy hit boosts your anomaly power by 20% for 10 seconds and stacks up to 5 times. Now if they've changed something, let me know, but as far as I know, that is the actual mod that comes on the Lava Lich helmet, meaning you'll be able to get 100% anomaly boost. Again, it is still not as strong as the Acari set, not in the slightest, but it may be a mod that you could put on the other sets to make them slightly viable. Especially, I would probably say, funnily enough, the Lava Lich set. But if you wanted to try it and make one of the other legendary sets viable, you almost definitely will need this mod. You almost definitely will need Phaser Beam in there. And honestly, I can really understand why people are choosing to use the Acari set when it's just so much more viable and so much more damage for endgame. If you're trying to clear content and you're struggling and you're using one of these other sets, honestly, until they change things up, maybe just swap it out, try the Acari set, see how you get on. Either that, or hopefully you will get the drop that I haven't and you'll be able to put it on your gear set, and that way you might be able to do enough damage to clear things to gold and have a really fun time whilst doing it. So honestly, for me, I would say if you see people using Acari, don't worry, they're not being boring. It's not because they don't want to try stuff, it's because when they are trying stuff, they're usually not making it work very well. I'm gonna try it and bring you guys and girls out some different sets, I really will, and bring out some really nice variations. But to even give it a try, I really do need that mod, because until then, it's just not going to hit as hard as they need to, and you're not going to be clearing golds. So me bringing a guide out for you is just going to mean that you're going to be getting a build that isn't as good as some of the others and won't be able to clear the content as fast or as well. Right, all you guys and girls, that's just my 2 cents for today. Like I said, this is just my opinion, so if you have a difference of opinion, let me know in the comments. Honestly, it is always good to hear from you guys and girls, and I really wish that I'm wrong on this one and that you guys have made something amazing, because then I'll be able to give it a try. But as always, take care. I'll see you on next day.